What were some times when you died inside? In the 7th grade, I got my back-to-school clothes. For some reason, I thought yellow pants and a yellow Hawaiian shirt looked awesome. I was excited to wear this new outfit. We were not wealthy, so having new clothes like this was a big deal for me. Sitting in my English class, one received a note. It said, "Are you the mustard man?" and was signed by every person in the fucking class, and as I read it, they all burst out in laughter. All of them. It's a moment in life where you have to laugh or cry, and either way you die inside. I chose to laugh. Kids are cruel. I had something similar as a kid. Had a light blue tracksuit that I loved in the 3rd grade, and a girl told me that I looked like an Oompa Loompa. Never wore it to school again. Also, Oompa Loompas look nothing like that. Rihanna. I received a set of boxes in the mail with no return address on a Monday morning. When I opened the boxes, I started noticing stuff that is my mom's. This seems to be some sort of care package from my mom. As I opened more, there were all these documents. I was confused, then I found the note. My mom committed suicide but planned it all out. She sent me a list of things to take care of now that she's gone. Now I hate getting packages. Sorry for your loss. I can't imagine how devastating that must have been. I had a customer who was holding and examining an awkward, fragile, and expensive item with one hand. I asked her to please hold it with two. She turned to look at me. She only had one arm, monsieur. You know, out of all the great answers in this thread, this is the one that actually made me laugh out loud. I can almost picture your face as she turns around. Turn beet red, mumble out an apology, go take a bathroom break till she leaves. I found a resident at my work crying, and when asked what was wrong, he responded, "I have baby brains." For some context, I work at a traumatic brain injury center. For these types of people, this is their permanent home. And coming from someone who is usually caught in a 3-sentence loop, the self-realization was something I didn't think he was capable of. Feels badman. JPEG. Jesh, I can't even imagine. How did you respond? I initially thought, no, but replied with something like, "Hey, that's not the case. You're a full-grown man," and proceeded to breathe with him to calm him down. It ended with us laughing and him calling me a pretty cool dude. At a company event. As we left, my colleagues were nowhere to be found as I walked outside. So I waited there. Turns out they were taking a group photo without me. My friends did this at pro monsieur, when my dad told me he was obligated to love me, but he didn't have to like me. I was 10, and I was absolutely crushed. Once bought a bottle of Pepsi in a meal deal but didn't have space to put it in my bag. In my infinite wisdom, I decided to pour the contents into my reusable water bottle so I wouldn't have to carry both bottles. It was one of them bottles that has the straw in it and you flip the top up when you want a drink. Opened it in a little hardware store later in the day and the gas had built up in the bottle and it spurted out like a water gun all over the wall and ceiling. I was so embarrassed and tried my best to clean it up for them, but all the staff could do was laugh. One of them told me I was stood in the perfect spot for the CCTV to pick it up and he would be watching it back later. Edit. I'm so glad that it turns out I'm not the only idiot who has done something like this. I did this with Sprite in my 9th grade algebra class. The room went dead silent and I just went outside to dump the rest out while my classmates wiped off the desks for me. My teacher didn't even say anything. 5th grade spelling bee. I made it to the school-wide level, which was the 3rd round in. My first word was biscuit, easy. My second word was sock, also, except for the fact that I was a bit nervous being up on stage with the whole school in attendance, including my mom who was there for support. It got in my head a little bit. I heard soccer and thought, okay, this is easy. Remember, there are 2 C's in soccer. Two C's, asterisk step up to the microphone, asterisk, C, O, asterisk instantly knew what I did, asterisk, armed myself in front of everyone, asterisk, dead inside, asterisk despite this realization, and the fact I had already lost, my brain kept the letters mixed up and I spelled the rest of the word. SS Cosa. Any Cosa fans here? Or, as you may call it in your country, buttfall? Interviewing a potential student who is interested in my school. He has a huge green circle around his eye. Wow, quite a black eye. What did you do? Quote, I was born like this. Oh wow, I did this once at my job when I was in high school. I worked with this guy for 3 years. And one day he had this huge cut all the way up his arm, monsieur. I asked him what happened and he looked down and awkwardly told me he had psoriasis and was having a flare-up. All I could say was no way, so does Kim Kardashian. You could be famous, made almost 0 cents, and I felt so bad. He was cool about it though. I'm sure that kid wasn't too upset, he knows what's up. As someone who has psoriasis and flares, concern and kindness are always appreciated over EWW gross, or is it contagious? While backing away. In 4th grade, my school had a fundraiser around Valentine's Day where you could buy a carnation for $1, or a rose for $2. It would then be delivered with a message to the person of your choosing. I liked a boy in my class, so I decided to buy him a rose and write a note from his secret admirer. Well, I couldn't wait for the rose to be delivered, so I wrote a note and slid it under his book when he got up to go to the bathroom, monsieur. His friend saw because I'm about as stealthy as an elephant on roller skates. Friend took the note, read it out loud when the boy got back. The rose came not long after. The boy took it, looked at me, snapped the rose in half, and threw it in the trash. Also, there was the recurring instance of being the target of "my friend likes you." EWWWW no I don't does wonders for a girl's self-esteem, especially since my mom continued the insults at home, lol. When I was about 9 I was in a school assembly. At our school assemblies the students Saturday cross-legged on wooden floor in the sports hall. Well, I had to fart, and I assumed it would be quiet. It was not. It ended up being extremely loud and was amplified by the wooden floor. In my school you would have been a king. When my cousin died from a weird disease, and all our family members who'd watched us grow up together and be inseparable would look at me with pity and silent compassion. It just made me feel worse every time. They still do it every now and then. Even though tomorrow will be 3 years since he passed, and it still makes me feel awful. When my mom died everyone gave me that look. I hated. I just wanted to be alone with my dad. When my friends said I should drink some more because I'm no fun without alcohol. Wow, that's awful. I hope you realize this says more about their relationship with alcohol than it says about you. When I was about 13 my dad took me aside one night and apologized for putting so much effort into supporting my twin brother and so little into supporting me. I always assumed he was just smarter, physically more gifted. Turns out he and my mother had actively and knowingly neglected me in order to encourage my brother's achievements. Happened all through my schooling. They paid thousands for his sporting trips, and when I had the same opportunities they just didn't have the money. Still kills me inside now. Edit. Wow, thanks for all the support Reddit. I am doing well now and it really only made me a more resilient person. Was a big oof when it happened, but it made me who I am, monsieur. Surprising how many twins are in the exact same situation. Edit 2, for those asking. There was no real reason given in the explanation from Dad and nothing really changed after. At 13 it was the norm and even now it's pretty standard. I still love my dad and my brother. Dad gave me more than most haven't. He did it as a single parent so I don't hold it against. Hi monsieur. being a twin can definitely suck. Did they still do it after the talk with your dad? The fuck? This is a thing with twin. This doesn't make any sense. Is it a concentrated case of the favorite? Really, I think I am late and this will get buried, but when I was in high school I used to swim competitively. So speedos, hat, etc., etc. One morning session I was running a bit late and got changed super quick and went out to the poolside with my gear getting ready for the training session, when one of the girls informed me that one of my testicles was hanging out the side of my speedos. I thought it felt a bit breezy as I ran out the changing room, but never crossed my mind what had happened. I look back and laugh about it now, but my god, the embarrassment at the time. I still wonder how many others saw and didn't say anything. Ha ha ha. 6th grade all-day field trip to SeaWorld Orlando. Surprise period through my white shorts. All the moms who wanted to help only had tampons. I was 11 and had no idea how to use them. There ensued an embarrassing crash course. I was devastated until random dad saved the day by giving me his windbreaker to tie around my waist and told me to go have fun. Thanks random field trip dad. You saved the day. What a great story of human kindness. Not all heroes wear a cape. Windbreakers are twice as useful.